Over the next 4 weeks, I'll be exploring a new part of the world, Central America. I'll be starting in Costa Rica, a country that's been on my bucket list for years. Then I'll be flying north to the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, where I'll be spending another 2 weeks in Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize. This trip will certainly provide a totally different experience from my recent trips. Not only is this my first time traveling with G-Adentures, but I'll be experiencing a new part of the world. So let the Central American adventure begin. First off, a little geography lesson. These are the Americas. This is the continent of North America. This is the continent of South America. This is the country of the United States of America. And this is the region known as Central America. I'll be starting my travels in Costa Rica. Then I'll be flying to Mexico, where I'll be on the Yucatan Peninsula, and then making my way through Guatemala and Belize. Now, Mexico is not a part of Central America, but the Yucatan Peninsula is a good starting point for travelers making their way through Central America. Welcome to San Jose, Costa Rica. I have arrived in the country, and today is the start of the Costa Rica Active Adventure with G-Adentures. It is a 13-day tour around the country. We are leaving tomorrow and we are heading to Monteverde, and then after that we'll be checking out other parts of the country such as La Fortuna, and then doing a 2-day whitewater rafting experience, making our way towards the eastern side of the country. We'll then have a couple of days on the Caribbean coast before making our way back to San Jose. So I'm really excited to be in Costa Rica. It's been on my list for the longest time to come here. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but it's going to be an awesome trip, being very physically active and hopefully seeing a lot of wildlife. So today we have a free day. The tour doesn't start till this evening when we meet up with our group. So I'm just going to be checking out the city, and then tomorrow we are off to Monteverde. Once we arrived in Monteverde, we went to one of the hanging bridges in the cloud forest. I have to say that as soon as we started walking, I felt like I was transported back to the age of dinosaurs. The hanging bridges felt like a hike that was offered at Jurassic World, providing visitors a chance to see larger and impressive dinosaurs from a different perspective. Even though we didn't see any dinosaurs, we did spot our first animal, the capuchin monkey, also known as the white-faced monkey. That night, we ventured into the rainforest to see what animals would be active at night, and we weren't disappointed. The most impressive animal that was seen was a glow-in-the-dark scorpion. I had no idea that something like this even existed in nature, and it certainly felt like it was straight out of Jurassic Park.
That's just a baby. More protein.
Welcome to La Fortuna. We're spending the next 3 nights here in what is known as the adventure capital of Costa Rica. There's lots of high adrenaline action adventure activities, which is something that we're going to be doing over the next couple of days here. I just want to say the last couple of days in Monteverde were absolutely amazing with the amount of wildlife that we've seen. Obviously seeing the monkeys at the hanging bridges was incredible, and then on our night walks seeing so many different animals, especially that glow-in-the-dark scorpion was absolutely the highlight. And while walking here in Costa Rica, it really feels like I'm in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World right now. And even at our hotel here, there are a lot of animals, such as some birds and even howler monkey, which I was able to capture on film. So over the next few days, we are going to be doing some high adrenaline activities and still being immersed in all this wonderful nature. As we got our bikes ready, we were greeted by 2 coatis. Coatis are part of the raccoon family, and unlike their raccoon cousins, coatis are a lot less aggressive and really curious. We then started our bike ride, traversing some very rough terrain before things smoothed out. At the end of the ride, we had some fruit and finally spotted our first dinosaur.
Guys, 3 minutes more, okay? If you want to stop in the downtown, just stop, okay?
The bike tour this morning was pretty exhausting, but a lot of fun. And actually on the way back to La Fortuna, we did see a sloth next to the road. We're doing our second activity of the day, a safari river float, and we hope to see some more animals on the river. After cruising down the river, our guide spotted an animal sighting that is extremely rare. So we pulled over to have a better look at a mother sloth and her baby. Towards the end of the safari, we stopped to plant a couple of native trees, part of the 1 Million Trees project from Caribbean Winds, to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change. We then continued a little further down the river where we spotted some howler monkeys. So good morning from La Fortuna. This is our final day here before we begin our multi-day whitewater rafting trip, which I'm really looking forward to. However, we have one last high-octane adrenaline activity today, canyoning at this place called Gravity Falls. That sounds like an insane ride at an amusement park. I'm not quite sure what to expect. But it's going to be thrilling, scary, and a lot of fun. So let's hit Gravity Falls and check out the amazing scenery. just got back from doing the Gravity Falls canyoning. The first abseil down the cliff face next to Gravity Falls was absolutely amazing. It was quite the drop, but it was very thrilling, and jumping into pools of water. There was some rock climbing, a few more abseils, and it was just an unbelievable experience to see a really isolated part of Costa Rica that you can only see while canyoning. And I really have to say that Costa Rica has just amazed me with the amount of biodiversity that this country has. Every single day we've seen so many animals and different species and several unique animals, and the plants and the trees are also absolutely amazing. The biodiversity in this country is absolutely amazing. Like, I'm blown away as to how much biodiversity is here in Costa Rica in relation to its land size and that. And even just here in La Fortuna, the area here reminds me a lot of Isla Nublar, where Jurassic Park and Jurassic World takes place. Monteverde is in the cloud forest, so there's a different climate and ecosystem up there. So there's so many different microclimates and ecosystems throughout the country. This marks the halfway point of our trip. Tomorrow is a big day. We are starting our multi-day whitewater rafting experience. So we're going to be traveling down class 3 to class 4 rapids tomorrow, and then spending a couple of nights at this lodge that's in the middle of the rainforest, which I'm really looking forward to. And then we are going back on the river and making our way to the eastern side of the country, which is next to the Caribbean Sea. After some rafting, we stopped along the shore to go for a hike towards a natural swimming pool where we had the opportunity to cool off. Have a ride at Ave Soul Sanctuary, which is our accommodation in the middle of the rainforest for the next couple of nights. This place is absolutely amazing. The only way to get here is by river, and we did the whitewater rafting to get here. Now, the rafting was a good warm-up, but the rapids were fairly tamed in that, and we were only on the river for maybe about an hour and a half. But I hear that when we leave in a couple of days that the river does get more intense, which is what I am and some of the group is looking forward to, some really high intensity rapids. But this place is absolutely amazing. It is very humid. I'm sweating bullets right now. But this place is just absolutely amazing. We have a couple of activities for tomorrow, and doing some hikes and some swimming and just relaxing over the next couple of days. The next day, we did a rainforest hike to swim at a waterfall. But first, we had to cross the river that we were rafting on. So good morning from the Costa Rican rainforest. Today we are back on the river and heading towards the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. I've been told that we will be experiencing class 3 and class 4 rapids today, so I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be on the river for about 3 hours and we'll be stopping along the way for lunch. So let's take to the river and see what these rapids have in store for us.
My mama said don't worry about tomorrow. We don't need a reason, we could celebrate. Living in the moment, it's a motto. We gon' turn a Monday to a holiday. Tennessee, memories chasing bright lights on the road, coming home in the daylight. Music always blasting, the shots go back to back. In the morning we be laughing like how's this always happen? Last night I threw up in my Uber Sunday. Drunk text, spilling drinks on my shoes, and now I'm face down and I'm covered in bruises. But I do it all again, cause I'm young and I'm foolish. Last night I threw up in my Uber Sunday. Drunk text, spilling drinks on my shoes, and now I'm face down and I'm covered in bruises. But I do it all again, cause I'm young and I'm foolish. Last night I threw up in my Uber Sunday. Drunk text, spilling drinks on my shoes, and now I'm face down and I'm covered in bruises. But I do it all again, cause I'm young and I'm foolish. I talk too much when I'm tipsy, I swear I lose control. I'ma chase you with a little whiskey, I think I lost my phone. Now I can't call up no one, told me go home, yeah so what? I'm out here dancing on my own. I'ma need one shot, then two shot, then three shots. Tell 'em on the floor, yeah. One text and two texts and three texts. Now you're coming over. Music always blasting, the shots go back to back. In the morning we be laughing like how's this always happen? Last night I threw up in my Uber
Our lunch stop provided everyone with some rest and lots of food to replenish our energy before we continued down the river. Welcome to Puerto Viejo on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. The vibe and landscape here is much different than any other place so far in Costa Rica. We have a couple days here before we make our way back to San Jose and conclude our trip. So this morning we are off to the beach for some surfing lessons, and then we have the rest of the day just to relax and explore the area.
Your most important equipment with you today is your surfboard. Okay? So these are the boards that we're going to be using today. All of them are soft top longboards. They all have the same material, similar dimensions. It's really important to use soft top boards or big ones like these because they're going to help us a lot for the beginning, for stability and balance, to get in the basic for the proper stand-up. Right? So, every board has the nose of the board here in the front, guiding you always in front where you're going or back to the beach. Along the side of the board, we got what we call the rails of the board. Both sides, they guide us in the water as well. In the back of the board, we got the fins of the board. The fins help us to give us stability. If you have no fins, you will spin in circles the whole time. So it's important to have the fins on the board. Every board has what we call the leash. The leash is attached to your back seat. No matter which is the standing position, you should always be going your back.
When we're in the water, we're going to be choosing the way for you guys. We're going to let you guys know ready. Okay, we get ready. Up. I go. 1, 2, 3. Up. I go as high as possible. Then I flex my knee a little bit for have balance, control, and stabilization. Looking forward. So when we say ready, you go. Mentally and physically looking forward. Super important. When I'm gonna get up, look at my movement. So this is 1, 2, back feet, 3, front feet. My hand is still on the board. Push up, nice and solid. There I'm gonna be riding.
So I first did surfing back in 2018 in Australia, which did provide me a better grasp on things. And while things started off on the wrong foot, unlike in Australia where I wasn't able to get up and surf, this time I was able to get up and surf, although only for a few seconds, but much improved over the last time.
Come on, Michael! Woo!
On our last day in Puerto Viejo, we went to the Cahuta National Park to see some more wildlife, and immediately we spotted a sloth sleeping on the ground, which was very rare.
Just turning around now, the tree going
No.
We spotted some more lizards, one of which could have been Godzilla's cousin. It was really massive. And one of the lizards was bobbing its head, which reminded me of the Gandalf Sachs video.
So we made it back to San Jose where the tour began. These last 13 days here in Costa Rica have been absolutely incredible with the amount of biodiversity this country has. Every single day it was like walking through a zoo, but the zoo is natural. The animals are in their natural habitat, living out their lives as nature intended, and we're just observing. And the amount of species that we've seen over these last 2 weeks have been absolutely incredible. I was totally amazed as to how many unique and amazing animals are here. Obviously that glow-in-the-dark scorpion was my favorite animal that I saw, but I absolutely love Costa Rica, and all the physically active activities that we did on this trip was super amazing, and I really enjoyed my time here in Costa Rica, and I will definitely be back at some point in the future. But now it's off to my next adventure. I fly out to Playa del Carmen tomorrow, where I'll begin my Mayan Discovery tour with G-Adentures. And I'll be traveling through Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize, and checking out more Mayan ruins and doing some more adventure activities. So we'll see you in Mexico.